Arduino for Beginners, Episode 22. The DHT11 displayed on an LCD screen. Now in the last video, we took a look at how to hook the DHT11 up. So if you haven't seen that, don't know how to hook it up, I'll go through it real quick because it's simple. But I would suggest you watch that video if you are not familiar with the DHT11 or 22 temp and humidity sensor. Now in this episode, instead of using a serial monitor, we are using a LCD screen. Now I'm using the 2 line by, I believe it's 18 character or 16 character. Yeah, 16 I do believe. But the 4 line by, I think that one's 20 character will work as well. You'll just have 2 more lines that you can put some other stuff on or just leave them blank. Now to hook this up, there's only 4 wires on the back. You've got your ground, your VCC, and they're all labeled on here. Now this is the I2C screen. You are going to want to use the I2C screen. Don't buy just the regular one because it's 50 cents cheaper. Get the I2C because you only need to use 2 pins on your Arduino instead of using, I think it's like 8 or 9. And what you have is you got the SDA pin. That goes to analog pin 4, and you got the SCL pin, and that goes to analog pin 5 on the Arduino. Now this is on the Uno, and on the Nano, it should be identical as well. If you're using a Mega or one of the other boards, check that and make sure. I know on the Mega, a lot of times stuff is on different pins, so check into that yourself. Now for the DHT11 or 22, both they're the same thing, just the 22 is more precise than the 11. To hook that up, our first pin here is VCC, and we've got that coming in from the Arduino. The second pin is the data pin, and that goes to digital pin 6. You can use a different pin, you just have to change that in the sketch. The next pin is not used, and the 4th and final pin goes to ground. Easy to hook up. Once again, if you want a little more information on this, check out the last video. Alright, as you can see, on the top line we got the temperature, and right now it's 10 degrees Celsius. It actually went down a degree. When I shot the last video, it was 11 degrees in here. And humidity is 24%. Now I have a space between there. If the temperature gets up to 100, well, the C would get covered up. So that's why there's a space there. I mean, you're probably not going to run into that, but I put it there anyway. And the same thing, if the humidity hits 100% humidity, which could happen if it's raining, you could get a 100% humidity reading on this. Then the 0 would have been covering the percentage. That's why I did that. Now this one is set up, unlike the last one, I had it reading every second. This one refreshes every 30 seconds, which is a good refresh rate. You don't need to be reading this thing every second. Alright, well, I think we can go over to the computer and we'll take a look at the sketch for this. And like I said, if you're unfamiliar with the DHT11s and 22s, check out my last video. If you'd like some more information on the LCD screen here, because you also need to get the address and stuff, I have another video just on connecting this up and getting the address and getting everything to work with your Arduino. Look in the description below and you'll find a link to this project's website, web page, where you'll find the video and the tutorial and everything on how to hook this up and get your address for it and configure that into the sketch. And also I'll probably have a link on there to the last episode where I went over this, and I'll probably have a link where you can get these if you don't have them, and whatever other information I can find to throw on there with it. Alright, well, I'll catch you over at the computer then in just a second. Okay, I have the Arduino IDE opened up here. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we got to include a couple of libraries. Now the wire.h should already be included in your Arduino. Now the liquid crystal for the I2C, if you don't have that, just look in the description below and go to this project's web page, and you'll find a link to there on how to set up the I2C screen, and that will also show you where to get the library for this. Otherwise, you can just go under Sketch and add libraries, manage them, and just type in liquid crystal underscore I2C, and it should bring it up. All right, with that, then what we're doing is we're defining this stuff here. Just leave this alone unless now if you're using 2x16 character or 2x8, I always forget. I think it's 2x16. Yeah, it's 2x16. If you're using that, this is most likely your address, so you can try this out right away. And if it doesn't work, then you need to run again. If you go to the website, you'll find under the how to set up the I2C screen, it'll show you how to scan. There's a little sketch after you hook the screen up. It'll scan it and it'll find the address, and then just replace this right here with that address that you scan for. All right, then with that, we're doing the simple DHT library, and we covered that in the last episode. So if you don't know where to get that, check that episode out. This stuff here again, same as last episode. We got the data pin on 6. If you choose a different pin, just make sure you change this. Leave this alone unless you're using the DHT22. I do believe you have to change that to 22. Then in the void setup, we are just initializing the screen and telling it it's 16:2. If you're running the 20:4, put that in here. Then we're just doing an LCD clear. Just in case there was something on it already, it's being deleted. Now we go down to the void loop, and once again, there's not a whole lot to this sketch. This is pretty simple. We're just doing 2 bytes, and that's to store our temperature and humidity. And we're setting them every time to 0. In case the sensor malfunctions, we will see zeros on the screen. Well, that'll let us know it's malfunctioning. It won't just keep showing the last reading it had. So change that, or excuse me, don't change any of that. Just leave that like it is. Then what we're doing is we're doing a DHT11.read, and then we're reading it and getting the temperature and humidity from there. And it's putting those into them 2 variables right there. So don't change any of this. Then we're just doing an LCD clear. Clear the LCD, because every time this runs through, we want to clear it. And we're just setting the cursor, and we're printing temperature on the screen. And we're setting the cursor again. We're printing Celsius. Then we're doing the same thing for the humidity and the percentage. We're just setting where on the screen to put them. And then we are printing the temperature value, and then we're printing the humidity value. And then we're delaying 30 seconds and going back through. Now, the reason we are reprinting all of this instead of just the temperature and the humidity is in case this drops below 10, so it goes to 9 from 10, it would be, if it goes from 10 to 9, it would show 19 on the LCD. It's just because it's not clearing the 1. It's just replacing the 1 character that's being written to. So that's actually no, it would be 92. Excuse me. I'm getting a little confused there, but I think you get the idea. That is why we're doing an LCD clear, but again, we're only reading it every 30 seconds, so it's nothing you're going to notice. Now, if you were running this so it was going every 10 seconds, you would notice that. Definitely would. So that's all there is to it. Once again, check the website out. You'll find more information. You'll find the sketch, everything on there. So I'd like to thank you for joining us here today. I hope you have a great day, and remember, have fun building.